everyone, this is Niki Rowland, and today I have a layout for Shimmerz Paints. I'm taking part in the Spring Forward Challenge. You can see all the details on our blog, but also basically the challenge is to create a layout using no pattern paper. So to use mixed media for your background, obviously fabulous Shimmerz products, and to create your whole background just using Shimmerz products rather than any patterned paper. So this is a great challenge for me. I really enjoy doing challenges like this. I have been trying to use more pattern paper recently, but actually it's slightly out of my comfort zone. So coming back to basics is a great challenge for me. I really enjoyed this one. You can enter your challenge if you would like to join in as well on the Shimmerz Shares Facebook group, or you can enter on social media by just using the hashtag Shimmerz Spring Challenge. I will put those below. Okay, so I'm creating kind of a rainbow background here. I've got these lovely rainbow embellishments and bits and pieces from a kit, a small kit club that I subscribed to for a while, I'm inspired by those pieces. So I am making a layout using rainbow colours. So I've gone slightly out of my comfort zone here, and I've gone for some sprays, which is something I don't often use. I tend to use the Inklings and the Creameez more than anything. So I've managed to pull out some sprays. I will list all the colours that I've used below, but they are: the blue one I've just put down is Ride the Tide Creameez. The green one is Lettuce Get Together Creameez. Then I move on to the sprays. So these are new ones for me. You're the Zest Spritz, which is the really fabulous bright yellow one. Then the orange one next to it is Practice What You Peach. That's a spritz too. And the pink one is Pink Outside the Box, which is also a spritz and a new colour too. And then finally, I was kind of going for a reddy or a hot pink more. I started off looking for red, but then decided to go for hot pink instead and went for Paradise Punch Creameez. So a good selection of colours there. So I will list those below as well. But I am applying them with the packaging technique. So I've put the first two colours were Creameez or Inklings, so I have put some water in the pots, let them sit for a bit, and then applied the paint directly to the packaging, and then pressed the packaging onto my white background, which is a sheet of marshmallow cardstock. Then I've used the Spritz, which is the yellow one. Now that's really quite runny because it's a spray rather than a solid paint. So I was getting to the point where my layout was a little bit too wet, and I was away, so I didn't have my heat tool with me. So I just thought I'd spend a few minutes letting that dry whilst cutting out some clouds to use as embellishments. And then I thought I would start from the other side. So I'd go with the hot pink and then move round to the lighter pink and then the orange and meet the yellow. So just to give the yellow a chance to dry a bit more. If I had my heat tool, I just would have blasted it with my heat tool, but actually it works just as well to just take a break and do some fussy cutting and come back to it in a little while. Oh look, I've just splattered pink spots everywhere where I didn't want them. But you know, these things happen. I kind of always think, you know, there's no mistakes, only opportunities with mixed media, and sometimes, yeah, it goes wrong. Sometimes you end up with paint splatters where you don't want them, or your paint runs on your layout, or the colours turn muddy, but it's possible to save most things, I find. So I'm just going to embrace the spots that are in the wrong place, and just totally not worry about it, and they'll blend in nicely, or I'll cover them up with something if I really need to. So yeah, totally not the end of the world. So just coming in with the spray. Now my yellow was still a bit wet, so I've just applied this with a paintbrush rather than with the packaging technique, that just gave me a little bit more control. It still looks like a watercolor effect. The paint is so wet, it's such a thin runny paint that it's no problem to apply in that way and still look like a watercolor. It doesn't like give you a big dollop of color or anything like that. It's very fluid and is really good to work with. So yeah, I applied it with a paintbrush, and that just gave me a little bit more control and meant that I didn't mix the color with the yellow, which was still wet. Okay, so that's pretty much my background done. I've added splatters to each colour as well. And now I'm just mounting my photos on some journaling cards. I don't know if it's paper or journaling cards. I may have cheated, therefore, and used a bit of pattern paper, but I don't think so. I think it's a large journaling card that I cut in half, and I think that's okay. I think that's that's fair enough. I think I can add a small amount of colour behind my photo and still be in with the challenge criteria not to use any pattern paper. I guess the clouds have come from a pattern paper as well, but they're cut out and used as embellishments rather than a big piece of paper. So I think that's okay in these rules. I'm also cutting out these teeny tiny rainbows. They're from a journaling card, and they're really tiny, and I'm just cutting those out and I'm going to put them on the clouds. So that's my plan for those. That will take me a little while to cut some of those bits out. And I had that really big rainbow at the bottom. Now, I didn't paint that. That was on a journaling card too. So I've just fussy cut that out, and I'm using that for my layout. So these photos are of my daughter rock climbing. And I just really liked some of the sentiments in the box that I had subscribed to. Things like do what you love, touch the sky. And I just thought that the rainbows and the clouds would work well with her climbing very high. She was indoors, unfortunately. That's the only downside, but that's okay. I think the photos work with this rainbow cloud theme, touch the sky theme. My layout's pretty much dry, and now I'm just adding all of my clouds. I'm raising them all up, or almost all of them up, on foam pads. The only ones I haven't raised on foam pads are the ones that are tucked behind my photo a little bit, because I want my photo to stand above them rather than be on the same level. I've also cut out a little title that says do what you love. That was also on a journaling card, so I've just chopped around that, and that I'm using as my title at the top of my photos. Again, I wanted the mixed media to be the focal point of the layout, and I didn't want to overpower that by adding too much on top of it, so I've kept it fairly minimal, as minimal as my layouts get. The clouds are obviously dotted all over the mixed media, but I think that is okay, because the mixed media still shines through and is still the focal point. So just building up my layout now, adding stickers, adding those tiny fussy cut rainbows. I've added a sticker to the right of my photo that says having the best day, which she did, and then I'm just adding this piece down the bottom that says touch the sky. That was a much bigger sentiment, but I've cut that down so that it just fits nicely on there. I've added another rainbow, just going to add some other bits and pieces as well. Just making sure all my rainbows are stuck in place. I'm trying to embellish kind of colour on colour, so I'm adding a few bits here and there. I've added an orange flower on the orange section and a yellow leaf on the yellow section. But I haven't gone crazy with this because, I wanted the mixed media to shine through and not be overpowered by things. So just adding added a sticker to the top of the left photo that says touch the sky. I've added a cloud sticker behind one of the fussy cut clouds, and I've also added the sun at the top of the layout as well behind one of the fussy cut clouds. So it's coming together now. It's all kind of building up and just being finished off. I'm pretty much there, to be honest. There's not a lot more that I need to add, except I had this pack of Dotz by Shimmerz, and one of them had a rainbow on it, so that went perfectly well. So I'm sticking that down my little rainbow cluster at the bottom, so that's really cute. Do check out the Dotz. They're really sweet. Great alternative to Flare, because Flare tends to go rusty, so these are a really great alternative to those. I've added some more stickers to the right of the photo. Having the best day is one that I'd already got. Then I've also added little moments and beautiful, so they all work well. Just coming in to add some gold thread now, just to give some sparkle and shine to my layout. Some little twiddles behind my embellishments, which I really love to add to almost all of my layouts. So I'm adding one on either side of the photos, so that I've got I've got a cluster both on the left and the right. So just adding those twine pieces there. I just found a cloud that wasn't stuck down, so just getting that one stuck down. And yeah, I'm nearly done. Just making sure that everything's stuck in place. I always forget to stick my photos down properly, so just adding some foam pads behind my photos there. And I just need to write in some journaling, and then I'll be pretty much done. So my journaling reads, a great day at rock climbing for Lydia's birthday. So that's all, just a very simple bit of information about what we were actually doing. Okay, so that's me done. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have enjoyed this layout. Do play along with the Shimmerz Spring Forward Challenge. I say you can enter on the Facebook group or on general social media. Don't forget that if you place an order via the Shimmerz store, put my name in the comments to receive a freebie. Thanks for joining me. That was Niki Rowland for Shimmerz Paints.